Okay, well, we'd like you all to welcome our leader here, and I'm sure that she's been welcoming you and knowing all your faces. I'm still learning, but Risha here, it's 25 years in the industry. She was an owner of a marketing training company, a former film producer focused on training series for network marketers. And now with Partner Co, she's 43 in the world with our company, 24 in North America. She climbed 13 ranks in 7 months and achieved number three in Canada in only 8 months. I'm just going to add a little thing here. She went from size 18 to size 9. So it's just amazing. It shows everything was working. So she's now rank of president and works with teams in 12 countries. Welcome, Risha.
Dale Rumming, thank you so much. I applaud you for being an awesome co-host. Welcome everybody tonight. We're going to get this party started. We've got some amazing guest speakers. So I'm not going to take too much time, but I'd like to share a little bit of my story with you, if you don't mind, because my life has significantly changed with this amazing company in the last 15 months of my life, of which I'd like to share that story with you. Okay, let's get the party on the road. Can you please identify that you see my slides?
Yep, we're good.
Good, good, good. Okay, I'm Ricia Adair. I'm a Canadian. I live permanently in Manzanillo, Mexico. We moved here in 2023, October, on my husband's 70th birthday in the torrential rain, only to find out our realtor was 45 minutes late with our keys. But you know what? We were so excited it didn't matter. This is our dream home, Casa 700 Mangoes. It's a mini boutique resort. We absolutely love it. But I'll tell you, one thing hit us by surprise. When you have a house that sits vacant in the tropics for 5 months, bad things start to happen. And as a result, we went through our little nest egg in the 6 weeks that we needed to hustle and get ready for our upcoming season because we had already rented out to friends and family that were coming to beautiful Manzanillo to see us. So there was all kinds of things that went south on us, including my lawyer who stole $23,000 of closing costs. So that was quite an experience. And so I had to borrow the 23,000. I ended up very sick with shingles. I had a UTI infection that lasted 4 months. And then I got bit by the dog and that got infected. Then I got bit again. And it was, you know what? I found great comfort in chocolate cake and ice cream because it's like the best chocolate cake in this country, the best. And of course, the carbohydrates, the spaghetti and the gooey cheeses and all that sort of thing. So I ended up with a severe situation. No matter how many times I walked that beach, swam that ocean up and down the hill with my beautiful dog, Rusty, I was in a bad way. So I went to Dr. Tom. Dr. Tom, I said, what is going on here with me? And he said, Risha, there's no hesitation. You have a serious case of FFB. Dr. Tom, what is FFB? He said, girl, you're fat, frumpy, and broke. And then came that magic day that Chris and Joni called me last April that changed my life. Maybe Joni saw a fat picture on Facebook. I don't know, but she said, Risha, you need these drops. And I knew I needed them. I knew I wanted them. Joni was convincing enough. But what she did was she shared with me several testimonial pictures of person after person that had had amazing success with this product. And, you know, we all get to that certain age that it's almost impossible to lose weight, no matter how little you eat or how much you cut back or how much chair yoga you do. It doesn't matter. You still say that glorious size 18, right? And so I knew I had to do this. I had no money. I was so broke, guys, like super, so broke. And so I actually found the money I just did my taxes recently and I found $159. That was my first investment in my career with Partner Co to get me the drops. Joni said, Risha, you're broke. Start posting our system of growth. It's all about people like you that have had incredible success with these drops over the last many months. And that's what I started to do. My first two posts, between the two of them, I got 26 comments, but then the courier came to my door. So Mike took a picture of me with the drops. I posted something a little silly, 59 comments. Out of those comments, 20 people ended up being brand new customers and 6 joined me in the team. And so I thought, okay, I've never, ever been in my years of being in this industry that people reach out to me and say, I want what you've got. I've never had that in my life. I've never had team come up to me and say, I want to be on your team, sign me up. Never had that. So I thought, I've got something going here. I'm going to write down and set some goals. And I could see things start to happen. I had set a 5-figure goal for September 30th. And again, I got going around April 22nd. I was able to achieve that in the middle of July. And I went, okay, I'm going to get real serious about my goal setting. And I set a whole bunch of 1-year goals. Well, November was the magic month, and everything started to happen in November. Every villa got a new fridge, which I'm so excited about because I love my appliance. Sarah in the middle is my maid now. I'm able to hire a maid, a garden keeper, as well as a pool guy. We brought in the paint crew to paint the house. And then new and effective eco-friendly air conditioners in every room of the house as well. That all got realized in November. You can well imagine. We bought Mike a new motorcycle, so he's so super happy about that. We rebuilt the pergola. We had to because it was starting to collapse. There was a dangerous situation going on, and that had to be done before the guests. And then in December, the pool collapsed because of an earthquake and 6 more earthquakes that followed. We had guests checking in a short way. I had to make that phone call and say, well, we're really excited to see you, but guess what? The pool's broken. We were able to hire a crew and rebuilt the pool, and we reopened the pool complete with upgrades of lights by January 14th. So I'm not saying this to impress you, but more impress upon you. I want to take you back to April, where $159 to buy a box of drops to invest in this business. And this is what happened with my life. If I hadn't had the income of Partner Co., shut down our business. The hotel part of our property would be closed. I want to impress that upon you, that we all think everything is gravy and Pollyanna and all that kind of stuff, but we never expect that earthquake. We never expect the great damage or the pergola falling apart, those sort of things. So please pay close attention. We're going to talk about some products that are going to seriously change your health and keep you young and living a long, long time. And we're going to talk about your wealth. Everybody say aye. If you're into both of those, put 1 + 2 in the chat. Now, at the end of December, I got an email from the company, and they said, Ricia, you've qualified for the Punta Cana, all expenses paid, to a diamond resort. Pinch me, oh my God. First time I ever did zip lining. I won the chicken award because I was so scared. They paid for everything, all the dinners, the drinks, the dances, the parties. There was 178 people at that event, and I'm pretty sure about half of us were brand new in the business, only in the company for about 7 or 8 months. So here you go. I was broke only 7, 8 months ago, and here I am being wined and dined in a beautiful 5-star diamond resort in the Caribbean. That's how life can change. Dale earlier mentioned, yes, I lost a whole bunch of weight. I look at that top and I felt so frumpy. I was sick. I was filled with inflammation. In 13 days, you can see the rapid difference in the changing in my body. Well, 90 days in, I look at that picture on the left. That was the girl that was at my going away party. And I think as I see myself, I say, how'd that picture end up in my computer? And then I look at the lady on the right. That's me now, size 9, 3 months in with these fabulous drops. And I could have never done it because I was so addicted to chocolate cake, so addicted to sugar. I would have 2 desserts a day. And thanks to the drops, I have no more sugar cravings. And again, you can really notice the difference. That picture on the left was taken of Mike and I when we were coming through Las Vegas on our way south. And there I was recently in Chapala with one of my key leaders, Barbara Hoyle. I can't believe it's the same person. And with so many of us, you're going to see in the upcoming testimony pages, the physiology in our bodies, our faces have significantly changed, that we not only look thinner, but we look younger. And we feel younger too. Thanks to Darren and John, who, by the way, I got my phone call from them today in celebration of just receiving my recent $10,000 award. It was a great call. It was so fun. Darren even remembered my nickname when he saw me in Punta Cana, and he addressed me by my nickname. And I thought, these guys are so cool. John remembered the story I told him last January in Salt Lake City about talking to a girl from Melaleuca that was on the way to Puerto Vallarta to catch my flight. These guys are amazing. They are our owners for 2.5 years. They came together and bought 5 companies that were in some financial trouble made from previous bad management decisions, but they had amazing products, amazing stellar products. John was involved with one of the companies very near and dear to his heart. So they came together and called us all Partner Co. We are simply better together. Let's look at what's happening in our world right now. And you and I are in a situation that our grandparents never saw. There's systematic poisoning in the foods we eat, in the water we drink, the chemtrails in the air, and what we put on our skin. We have got a serious 21st century problem. Now we're going to throw in the proliferation of sugar in all of our food products, and the fact that most of what we eat today is not even food anymore, but food-like products. We're going to teach you with our program how to eat clean, how to eat healthy, and along with the help of our products, you will abstain from all those foods. You won't want them anymore, and that's such a gift. But going back to this, all of these toxins, everything I just mentioned, and let's throw in stress and anxiety, plus we're more of a sedentary society. When I was a kid, I never spent anywhere near this time on my butt, right? But now we're all in front of computers and TVs and smartphones. Well, all of this contributes to serious imbalance in your hormones. The leptin, insulin, ghrelin, and cortisol are just a few of the hormones that influence our appetite, metabolism, and body fat distribution. And people who are obese have hormone levels that encourage the accumulation of body fat. So if you're not doing something to help get your hormones back in balance, you're not going to change what you've got. I learned so much in the last 15 months. I thought most of this was just because, Ricia, you're getting old, Ricia, you're getting fat. No, it was because, Ricia, your hormones are in a circus merry-go-round. Mood swings, low libido, headaches, night sweats, food cravings, usually the sweets and the carbs, right? Hot flashes, acne, insomnia, tiredness, fatigue, and weight gain. If you're a partner on the call with me tonight, remember back to before the drops. How many of these were you? If you're 1 to 3, put 3 in the chat. Guess, also for you here. If you're not on the drops, then guess 1 to 3 in the chat, put a 3. If you're 4 to 7 of these symptoms, put 7. And if you're 8 to 10, put 10. And it's really interesting because we're all in the same boat. None of us is any different from the other. I celebrate that we have over 100 amazing products for healthy and rapid weight loss, balance your hormones, increase your energy. That's what everyone tells me. I have more energy. How about better sleep and gut health? Athletic performance. We have so many amazing products. Every single one is at the top of my favorite. Our scientific team is a big reason why we have attracted so many wellness professionals. We have several doctors in Mexico. We have a huge team of doctors, partner team in Mexico. And I see that starting to happen in the United States as well. Dr. Ray Strand is a wellness professional. He's a chief medical officer. He's a general medicine practitioner, but he teaches wellness. He has written several books all around the world in several languages, very well known. Dr. Joshua Plant, our chief science officer, to my knowledge, the only guy that came out of Harvard with a PhD in 3 years with honors. Wow, eh? Dr. Pina bottom right, he's from Mexico. He is also a brand partner, and he sits on our Global Physician Wellness Council. He's a world-leading gastrointestinal doctor who's also created our probiotic product, which you'll hear about in a moment. We have Dr. Crystal Vance on the Wellness Council. Kristen White, she's a professional athlete on our Athletic Council. Brett West is the world-leading expert on noni. You're going to hear about that in a minute. And they have an entire team of scientists that help them create products and test and prove these products. 1,040 annual quality tests are done on the products, so that guarantees that you get in that bottle what we promise you you're going to get. I'm pretty excited because I get to sit in my little office chair in Mexico and do business in 50 plus countries. How cool is that, right? And fortunately for last April, I had just enough money to pay my internet bills so I could start posting with our system of growth. But you too can build in 50 plus markets. Imagine you learn our system of growth. You learn how to post on Facebook or Instagram, whatever it is that tickles your fancy. A friend from Italy says, how do I get these drops? I'm really interested. You send her a link. The European office fulfills the order. The following Friday, you get paid your commissions. It is that simple. It's transparent. There's no international licensing, no international tax license or tax numbers involved. 50 plus markets are wide open for you. Let's talk about some of these products here. Lucim is one of my favorites. I absolutely love it. You need to have one bottle in your medicine chest and one bottle in your beauty chest. This is an absolute miracle product created by a team of dermatologists in 2005, specifically for injured skin and most burn victims. But let's share some of the pictures of results that we have seen with this particular product. Beautiful Marlene is on the line with us tonight. She suffered greatly from eczema, the discomfort, the itching, the scratching, the lack of sleep. And after using our roll-on breathable skincare mask, the only one in the world, she is now beautiful legs, gorgeous legs, right? Adult acne, stretch marks. We also have the aging that we can look younger. Everyone wants to look younger. Who wants to age and look old, right? Rosacea, surgery scars. I was recently in Winnipeg. My sister was undergoing chemo treatment, and it was taking the palms of her hands and her feet raw, red raw. She could hardly walk. She couldn't submerge her hands in water. There was all these rules. And here I'm in Winnipeg. I want to play with her. I want to go do some stuff. So I rolled her hands and feet for one night. The next day, neither one of us could believe it. They were pink. They were not red raw. And she could get up out of the bed and walk without dire straits pain. It's an amazing, amazing product. I love it. Good for mosquito bites, wasp bites, all those things that are happening in the summer too, right? Noni is the third product that I actually purchased back in my brand new business a few months ago because I heard Brett West speak. Noni is the most efficacious fruit in the world, and the best noni in the world comes from the French Polynesian Islands in Tahiti because of the volcanic minerals that are in the soil for growing conditions. This is your bottle. This is the travel pack, as you see, and I have the Noni Max in my fridge. It's my favorite. I'm going to call it your army of soldiers to completely protect your body for overall wellness, your immune system. How about joint health? So you can come up and down the stairs, get in and out of the car, or comfortably into the airplane, all those things, right? Noni is the one that definitely needs to be in your shopping cart. Another product that I love, it's also in my fridge. I drink it cold first thing in the morning, the Noni and collagen. The collagen helps with that youth and vitality. How about taking it from the inside out? Because you need to be young inside before your skin on the outside looks young. So combination of these two is a very, very good product. Our Nutrify line is a full line of amazing nutrition, vitamins, supplements. And I'm sorry, you just can't be eating enough fruits and vegetables to get you through the day like our vitamins can do for you. Let's first talk about the probiotics created by Dr. Pena here in Mexico. It is a slow release capsule, so best take it on an empty stomach. And you're going to want to notice that there's over 15 strains of pro and prebiotic with billions of them inside that patented bottle, so you can actually travel to hot climates and the product will not be damaged by the product. One of my brand partners could not go to the bathroom properly for 30 years. Starting to take the product, bang, in a week, she was regular like no time. And that's a big difference. You may be taking it for granted. You know, people who struggle with that department take it as a gift and a blessing. Omega Q, the absolute best for your heart and for your brain. The Rejuvenix, we call it Amplify here in Mexico. That's for your energy and your brain as well. Optimal M for minerals, Optimum V for vitamins. It's everything that your body needs. It's for your lungs, for your eyes, for your muscles, for your blood, for your bones. It's absolutely everything. It's outstanding. Benally is our biggest seller in France as well as China. People take it because of the loose skin after losing all the weight from the drops. But what we found out with the organic grapeseed extract from a very unique place up in the mountains in Italy is that you're going to see an immune system build like you've never seen before. So if you're fighting something, power dose on the Vinali, the MOA that I'm going to talk about, and the Noni, and just kick the bejesus out of it, right? A lot of people are saying they no longer suffer from allergy symptoms with the Vinali as well. The MOA is the second product that I bought when I got my first paycheck with this company. My friend recently said to me, Ricia, for those owies in your fingers and toes, this is the product that you need. When I interview people on these calls, most often MOA is right at the top of being in their top 5 favorites. All of these beautiful ingredients, they are super foods. They come from exotic locations, the mushrooms, all the different healing properties. It all comes together in a sachet and you drink it. It's amazing because within 3 weeks, I noticed a significant reduction in the discomfort as I would walk the dog in my stupid little flip-flops. And in 6 weeks, I noticed there's no discomfort at all. And I go, wow, this is cool, Rusty. We can go walking even longer this time. MOA is definitely another one. Keep it in your fridge. I love drinking it cold. And this lady here had ankle surgery that went south on her in just a few days of consuming this product. You can see she's back to pretty feet. And tonight I did use the sugar stop because I cheated off plan just a little bit. And the sugar stop is an ideal plan, or an ideal product rather. It's a powder, tastes like mango, put it in a glass of water, mix it up. And before you cheat a little bit, you're going to drink your sugar stop. What it does is it blocks 20% of the sugars from white sugar from spiking your blood and 40% of sugars created by carbohydrates. And so you can still stay on our program, once you're into that maintenance stage and enjoy certain foods. It's Uncle Harry's birthday and you want a piece of cake, take your sugar stop with you and you're going to be able to get by just fine. Now, the advantage is one product I have to smuggle into Mexico because I don't have it here. So I go to Canada and I have to buy a whole bunch of it. And why do I do that? Well, the benefits are absolutely amazing. First of all, it increases your metabolism. So you're going to burn 10 times more calories. So you're going to get leaner faster. It reduces that stubborn visceral fat, your slim waist and hips. It activates fat burning cells in your brown adipose tissue, helps prevent weight regain following weight loss. And we all know visceral fat is now being called the killer fat. Okay, let me introduce you to my breakfast. Pure Nourish, 18 grams of vegetable protein filled with probiotic, prebiotic. There's so much nutrition in Pure Nourish that if all the food should disappear tomorrow, along with clean water, you've got yourself fully nutrified. It is vegetable protein, not whey, not soy, but pea protein, and it tastes delicious. I love the taste of chocolate. It's called Power Boost in Canada, cocoa here in Mexico. I put it into my shake. I have the cocoa in my coffee. I sprinkle it on frozen blueberries. I love it. Giving Greens is your green drink because, again, we don't eat enough vegetables. It's got the efficacious green, the kale, the spinach, the broccoli, the parsley, and it tastes really good. It has high berry and cinnamon as well. Great line. Another thing to put into your shopping cart. Before we get on to the drops, I want to share with you one of my faves of all time. It's called Renew. Renew is going to help combat the natural aging process to promote youth and vitality. I call it the fountain of youth in the box. And what this does, it is the only product of its kind in the world. And again, this is why I love Partner Co, because our products are unique. You can't get our products anywhere, guys, only here in Partner Co. This is an expertly formulated formula to trigger human growth hormone, HGH. And the HGH, as we know, especially when we talk about teenage boys, is hormones are raging kind of thing, right? Well, guess what? There's so many things it's going to help you with. It's going to promote deeper, more restorative sleep, better sleep, say I, right? More productive tomorrow. Increase your libido, stamina, and pleasure. Reduce body fat, increases lean muscles. So marry it up with the drops. You've got a beautiful formula here. Promotes youthful looking skin and hair, improves mood and energy, and cell regeneration. This is a great product. You're going to drink it half an hour or so before sleep. Some people prefer to take it in the afternoon, but all in all, it tastes great. I love it. Okay, let's get to some rude statistics here. In the entire world, Mexico, Canada, and USA are top in overweight and obesity in its entire population. Wow. Mexico is number one, USA followed behind, and Canada close behind it. There's a serious problem happening here, and we need help. We need a tool that's going to help us get things in check, get us off that addiction to sugar, get us off of that addiction to slumpy foods like carbohydrates that just make you more tired and want more. Let's talk about the drops. This was created by doctors, backed by science 16 years ago. You will drop twice the weight as diet alone. It is clinically proven, doctor recommended, lots of science to support it. It's natural, safe, and effective, stimulant and hormone free. That's very important. We're not feeding hormones into your body. We're balancing your hormones. So what can these drops do for you? First of all, I want to say this. I live in Mexico. We have our formula here in Mexico called the pre-meal and the night. We have guests on our call tonight from the USA. They have Slenderize and Accelerate. We have guests on our call today from Canada that has the day and the night drops. We have 3 different formulas. And to my knowledge, those are all the 3 that service the entire world. And they come together with different ingredients, but they bring us all the same results. So you saw my pictures, and my pictures are on the Mexican formula where I lost my 34 pounds. You're going to see pictures of our American friends that were on the Slenderize Accelerate that lost 50, 100 pounds. And you'll see Canadian pictures of people on the day and night drops. So this is what the drops will help you with. Balance your hormones, rapid weight loss, control your appetite. When your brain says stop eating now, you get that signal and you stop. And it stops and eliminates sugar cravings. We all need to get away from the toxins of sugar. Helps with migraines, better sleep, improved libido, more energy. So many people say they have greater energy, improved digestion, control mood swings, clarity in memory, the brain fog list, improve your immune system, reduce inflammation, and so much more. The testimonials I hear on my calls blow me away. Over the last 16 years, well over 1 million bottles have been sold to so many happy customers. With the drops, we're going to invite you to go to a clean eating program. You're not going to go hungry. As a matter of fact, tonight we had a fabulous stir fry with jumbo shrimp and all these great vegetables with a little bit of hot sauce flavor. And we had a salad. It was so good. We're not hungry. Okay, you've got all the proteins, all the vegetables. So your can list is a lot larger than your cannot list, right? So let's look at this. Our Parksville team put together this delicious lunch buffet when I was in Canada back in May. Everything on this table is in the program. Again, we do not go hungry. There's dessert recipes. We have all kinds of different suggestions and recipe books for you. So I want to impress upon you, this is not a fad or a diet, it is a lifestyle. Exercise, we all know to do that, 15 to 30 minutes a day. And remember, guys, the choices we make today, and I'm going to speak to the crowd under 40. The choice you make today affects you 5 years from today. Now I'm going to speak to the crowd over 40. The choices you make today affect where you are in 2 years from today. And as you get older to 60 or 70, it's like 1 year from today. So let's choose some exercise. Let's choose to drink the water. Let's choose to eat clean and watch how your body transforms in 28 days. Katie, 30-day transition. James LaPonce, the guy on the right, looks like a kid brother to the guy on the left. Yes, guys, you have hormones too. James lost 47 pounds in 4 months. Dr. Crystal lost a whole person of herself, and that was 6-7 years ago. The weight has not come back. Athletes perform far better with our products. Julie Park, wow. I recommend everybody go to my YouTube channel and listen to the Spanish version that happened last week. Julie's whole thing is in English. If someone could put in the chat my YouTube channel, please. You got to hear her story, because this woman was almost dead, and these drops brought her back to amazing health. This is a mom of 5 kids, and boy, was she sick. What a story that was. The Hublers, Josh is a physiotherapist, loves the drops. They're a family of 5, accelerated in the business. Sheila was on cancer treatment as well as radiation. She had lost a lot of her joie de vivre and very sick. Well, on the drops, she says, back to yay life and 5 to 25 pounds. Chris Bailey, as he was on my call, he explained about having Lyme disease and only receiving medication of antibiotics. That's all the doctors would give him until he found the drops. Then he started to get healthy again. Selena, her A1Cs came way down, so the doctor took her off her diabetes medicine. Her blood pressure came way down, so she could give up that as well under doctor supervision. And I want to say this, we don't profess to cure or heal or anything like that, but it's just a great coincidence that people are getting better when they're taking these products and following our plan. Ashley, no more night sweats, no more hot flashes. Reese is down 65 pounds. And in Chad, he was on 14 meds. He's now down to 2. Together, they've lost over 125 pounds. Jerry not only lost 12 pounds, but he lost the shakes. He no longer has to hold one hand to steady with the soup spoon. Also, no more acid reflux and no more migraines. And the same with my husband, Mike, same thing. Colleen has lost all this weight in less than 8 months. Take a look at that picture. What a transition in less than 8 months. Kelly, our friend from Qualicum, BC on Vancouver Island, another huge transition. Same with our dear friend Sherry from Nanaimo. It's story after story. We celebrate Sharon, who now looks like she's a 20-year-old again. Now look at Tammy. Tammy's over 50. She does not look like she needs to lose weight on the left. Look at Tammy on the right. Oh my God, she has the body of a 22-year-old now. She's a grandma. Unbelievable what these drops do for people. Nancy has a great story because recently her doctor called her and said, it was a cardiologist doctor, I believe. And he said, you know what? Your test results came back so well. I can't treat you anymore. There's nothing to treat. Well, doctor, it's all about those drops. Nancy has gotten herself well again. Her husband, Wayne, has lost some weight. Valerie out of Victoria, our poster girl. Dale, our beautiful co-host, has amazing transition in just 60 days. People are changing their lives by saying yes to the drops. Gwen is so happy she no longer suffers from foot fungus, and you can see from March to June 13th how pretty her toes are. Penny was very, very sick. 60 days in from the drops, she's in the garden planting and being well again instead of living her life in bed. I love this picture of Barbara showing her little chubby self there into her size 7 skinny stretch pants. But look at Barbara, how young she looks. Barbara's 68 years old. Our products have people looking younger. It is just amazing. Tiger was very, very sick with COVID. He was confined to oxygen. He got on the drops. He's back in the gym, bench pressing 400 pounds, celebrating. Charlene's on the call with us. She's my hero. I love Charlene. The lady on the left was not too long after she had a bad fall and her son wanted to take her out of her lakefront home. And she said, just give me 2 weeks on the drops. That's all I want. He wanted to put her in assisted living in town, right? Are you kidding me? She lives in a beautiful house on the lake. Well, just recently, Charlene sent me that picture of her in a bathing suit. Needless to say, she never did leave her beautiful house. And she's coming from Aquafit that day. So, wow. Charlene is also 78 years old. Charlene, if you don't mind me saying. And Charlene was dancing across the stage in Calgary, being celebrated with her rank advancement with our company. So she's got value again. She's got a focus and she's making extra money as a pensioner. Talking about extra money, we celebrate Cheryl. Cheryl lost 50 pounds on the drops. She started mid-January. You could see the picture taken in April. Look at the difference in less than 4 months. And she went to Cuba. And when she came back, I said, Cheryl, it's payday. Let's have a look. $600 weekly check was made when she was in Cuba. You know, things happen. Magic happens all the time. Jane has an amazing story. She couldn't even clench her hands because her fingers were so swollen. The lady on the right, she said no to me, by the way, 8 times. I didn't hear the no's. I just kept saying, you need these drops, you need these drops. The lady on the right came to my venue in Victoria when I was in Canada in May, and she said to me, Ricia, I got to leave your meeting because the guy's selling a kayak, and I have to hurry up and get there before he sells it to somebody else. Here's Jane down 54 pounds, now frolicking on the lake when the lady before couldn't get off the couch. We are changing people's lives one by one by one by one. I'm so, so grateful for these products. I want to bring up to you another lady whose life has greatly, greatly changed. You can see in her photographs the difference in what happened with Leanne in her transition. Leanne, I'm so excited to hear your story.
You have to unmute.
Please unmute, Leanne. I know she's here. I saw her earlier.
Yeah, she's on now.
Of
I just
course,
can't.
I'm here. Yes,
Oh, there
thank you
you
very
are.
much.
Hi,
Couldn't find you
Leanne.
fast enough.
Hey,
Hi.
look at you. You look like you're 20 years younger from that picture, and you're so slimmer. You're beautiful. Oh my God.
Oh, thank you. Well, I certainly feel so much better.
Tell me your
Um,
story. How did you get
my,
started, Leanne?
how did I get started? Well, it all started, first off, I'm a hairdresser, and I was losing my hair, which was very, very scary. So that, of course, sent me to the doctor. And after doing a series of tests, it was determined that the reason I was losing my hair was because my hormones were out of balance. So he suggested putting me on HRT, and that did not appeal to me. So I started doing a bit of research to figure out what else I could do. And it was at that point that a friend of mine was posting on Facebook about these drops. And I thought, my goodness, she doesn't need to lose weight. What's this all about? So I reached out to my friend Charlene, and she said, well, actually, they are a natural replacement for HRT. And I went, hey, that's exactly what I'm looking for. So fast forward, I started the drops. It was, I believe, around the 25th of January of this year. And within 3 days, I was like the Energizer bunny bouncing off the walls. And by the end of the second week, no more chronic arthritic hip aches or burning neck pain. And I thought, hey, these things really work. Of course, I was following the approved food list, because if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it right. So I was taking my drops and I was eating low glycemic. And then 3 weeks, I think it was, and I had lost 10 pounds, 6 inches off my waist, happy all the time, sleeping through the night. Uh, my husband was like, "Oh my goodness." He says, he didn't do the drops, but he started eating just like I did, and he's also lost 25 pounds. Um, my hair started, well, it stopped falling out excessively, I noticed, around 4 weeks, and now it's growing like a weed. Couldn't be happier. And to date, I think I'm down 28 pounds and still feeling like $1,000,000. Sleeping, energy, brain fog is gone, happy, happy, happy all the time. And
What
I'm
an
very, very thankful. Yeah, I'm very, very thankful to have been introduced to these drops by my friend Charlene.
fabulous.
That's my
Wow.
story.
What a
Yeah.
story. Thank you so much, Leanne. Amazing story. And congratulations on all of that wellness coming into your world.
Thank you, Risha.
The drops are a lot more than just losing a few pounds. I'll tell you, we change people's lives in a big way. And now we're going to hear from Shelly Dechant from Vancouver Island. Shelly has an amazing story to share with us as well on how the drops have helped her. Shelly, come on board all the way from Nanaimo, British Columbia.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for having me, Risha.
My
It's always a pleasure to not only listen to your story, but listen to everybody else's, because that was the thing that really amazed me when I first started with this was actually being in a room with a bunch of other people, real people from my area that had seen such success. So my story is I had been watching my girlfriend on Facebook, and she had Bo, and she had dropped a link there talking about the drops, and I saw the word cortisol. And I have a sleeping problem, and it's one of those ones where I go to sleep no problem at all, but at 12 o'clock, all of a sudden I wake up. I haven't even opened my eyes. My body's saying, "My goodness, what a great day!" And then I open my eyes and I look at the clock, and it's only 12, and I am literally up until the next night at 10 o'clock. And this has gone on for years. So, yes, I've cycled a little bit where I was able to use some melatonin for a little while. And because my husband has PTSD, he has sleep study books that he does, they're workbooks. And I did that for a little bit, but nothing was helping, especially in this last bout. I was at the point where I was thinking I was going to have to go on medication. And again, my husband has been on that medication and I did not want it. So as soon as I heard that there was a possibility that I could adjust my cortisol levels, which I have to say, nobody ever suggested that to my husband, not from the military, no military doctor, no private doctor. I said it was worth giving it a try. So I bought the drops. I started using them, and I remember the third day of being on the drops. Third day, and I woke up in the middle of the night. I think it was about 2:30, and I got up to go to the bathroom. And I'd woken from a dead sleep. And as soon as I was in the bathroom, I was like, oh my God, I'm not gonna go back to sleep. And your head starts to cycle. But I said, I'm gonna climb back into bed and we'll see what happens. And I went back to sleep. And the next night, again, I woke up to go to the bathroom, but I was a little bit less concerned because the night before I'd gone back to sleep. I have been tracking my sleep. I'm at 112 days. I've had 4 days of what we would consider not great sleep. Two of them was because I had a cold and literally couldn't lay in bed. And two of them we're not really sure. But out of 112 days, I'm absolutely ecstatic with that. Now, the side effect of taking what I considered to be a great drop for getting sleep were things like I went on a cruise, came home, and had gained no weight. That's never happened to me in my entire life, ever. At the time, I wasn't following the diet because I was doing it for sleep. And not once did I wake up while I was with my friend in a cruise room. But I was ecstatic that I had not lost any weight. I had to go to Mexico 3 or 4 days later. And while I was at an all inclusive, I was walking by the dessert aisle like I always do. And my brain said, "You don't want this." And I remember going back to my chair and my parents, I was at my parents. My parents were like, "Well, where's your dessert?" I'm like, "It turns out I don't want it." And this has never come out of my mouth ever in my life. So that was a surprise. I've had a couple of instances. I have not had any dessert really since then. I don't want it. And it's a different. I've been on Ozempic where it's been suppressed, where I still thought the dessert was nice, but it didn't bother me to let it go. I literally don't want it now. It would be like somebody offering me fish, which I don't eat. I'm absolutely amazed that that can happen. I've lost 10 pounds. I have not been following the actual plan because, as I've said, this is for sleep. But I'm down 10 pounds. I literally tweaked my eating just the other day, lost another two yesterday, and I have expectations that it's going to keep coming off now that I'm actually eating more on plan.
Wow.
It's absolutely amazing. My knees,
Thank
my
you.
feet, nothing. They all like I get up instead of getting out of a chair and thinking, okay, I had to assess myself. Now I get up and I just go, and it's almost a shock when I get halfway down the hall and go, wow, I didn't feel any pain. So yeah,
Gotta love that. Gotta love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the drops, right?
thank you, thank you, thank you for the drops, Risha.
What an amazing story. I just love it. And when I invite people on my call, I never know what their story is going to be. So it's as much my pleasure as it is yours to hear their story for the first time. So let's make a decision. Set yourself up for victory, right? Theodore Roosevelt, one of my favorites, believe you can, and you're halfway there. It's so easy. How do you get the drops? Well, just make the decision. Become a customer, buy retail. Nah, you don't want to pay extra. So why not get the best absolute value? You want to go on the drops for 90 days minimum to get your body back into balance. It's like your doctor saying you got to take this medication for 90 days or it won't have its full effect. You listen to your doctor. Well, now listen to Ricia. She says you got to have the drops for 90 days. You don't want to pay retail for 90 days. Why don't you sign up to get your drops at wholesale? People are going to say to you in 3-4 days time, just like we heard from Leanne, like we heard from Shelly, people notice a difference and they go, what are you doing, Bob? Well, you know what? I've got these drops. Well, how do I get the drops? And before you know it, we're sharing with others. So having your own virtual business at $29.95 will not only get you your products at discounted price, but all the tools that you need in Canada. It's $37.95, and you're on your way to becoming a brand partner. If you want to build a business, great, we'll teach you. If you want to continue to buy wholesale, we'll teach you that too. But I want to first wake you up a little bit here, because especially Vancouver Island and many places in Canada and probably in the United States with this crazy heat wave going on, how would you manage if you're a carpenter and you had an accident and that beautiful arm of yours that does all that trade and crafting and everything was now broken? How would you manage? I'll tell you, I was married to a carpenter and he had an accident. You know, every carpenter ends up losing part of a digit or a full digit at one time or another, sadly. And he lost part of a digit. He was off work for like 4 months because it got infected and everything else happened. We had powder outage in Coombs that lasted 5 days. Well, you can't run power tools, right? And if you're self-employed, you got to think about that too. What if those fires spread and you were removed from your home, or worse, that your home should burn down? What if your child was sick, or your caretaker of your grandchild and that person got sick? What if your elder parents needed you to be there? What if the road construction came along on the street where you have your business or where you work, and that business was put out for 4 or 5 or 6 months? How would you manage? Having a plan B is no longer a nicety, folks. It's a necessity in today's world. Let's talk about that. Let's move on to the financial end of this program and teach you how simple our program is and how very, very prosperous our compensation plan is. First of all, results depend on individuals' effort, skill set, willingness to learn, motivation, and desires. So let's talk about turning your drops into profits. First of all, as a brand partner, you will enjoy a 30% markup. So you get a 30% discount on your own products, which is kind of cool. An example would be a US 4-pack is $371. When I talk US, I talk US dollars. When I talk Canada, I talk Canadian dollars. So you would buy a 4-pack, you would sell 3, make a profit of $222 or more, and keep 1 box for yourself. In Canada, a 4-pack is $500. Again, you would make a profit of over $200, selling 3 and keeping 1 for yourself. And how do you sell it? With our system of growth, putting it on Facebook, and people will come to you. They always do. Turn your social media into profit, and an international market soon comes forward. This is a picture of boards. We have everything in place, all the testimonials, all the answers for any inquiries. All you have to do is copy and paste. Here's an example of one of my posts with Rick and Crystal, who together lost 210 pounds. You think people aren't waking up and having a response to that post? Wow. So the ideal is to promote 30 boxes over 30 days, and that's going to get you a significant amount of profits, about 2,100 in Canada, 2,700 in US, and you get to our top pay position in our company, plus you get your box for free. So first thing, activate your position with 200 points so you're eligible to receive commissions. Just to repeat, a 4-pack in Canada is activated. A 4-pack in the US will activate you as well. I suggest throw in that Renew. It's such an amazing product, help you sleep, and all the rest of it marries up so well with the drops. In Canada, for a short time longer, we have some packages. The person who invited you to the call can explain all the different value in the packages for you. The business pack is 540 points. The more points you buy, the higher up the scale you go towards that top pay position I previously mentioned. The elite pack and the ultimate pack is 3 times 10 packs. That's 30 boxes. Keep 1, sell 29. Your profits are $21.43, and you're still offering your friends and family a discount, and your drops are free. How cool is that? Cool or cool, right? And the United States, you can buy a 10-pack and your unit cost comes down. It's $88 a box when you buy a 10-pack. A 20-pack, you're now looking at profits of $1,580. But I'm going to recommend, if your budget allows it, the 30-pack. It's a $2,300 investment, but your profits are $2,710. Where in a brick and mortar world can you put $2,300 into it, have a website, have all the training, have all the tracking, have somebody do the complete infrastructure, the customer fulfillment, the customer service, all of that, and you make $2,710? It's not done, but in PartnerCo it is. We are voted the best compensation plan in the industry. We have 9 different ways that we get paid. But first, what you want to do is after activation, make sure that you regularly are qualified for commissions and also to continue receiving your discount on your products. And it's just like a members club, right? All members clubs like their members to purchase something. So here we invite you to experience with the different products at 100 points, which is roughly about $150, $180, 150 US, 180 Canadian. And we spend that at the vitamin store anyway, and you get all these great products. You continue to get 30 points, which is 30% profits in your retail. But Mary's going to come along and say, you know what? I don't want to be your retail customer. I see great value. I know everybody in Chicago. So Mary purchases 1,000 points. If you're activated with that 4-pack, you would be at a 15% commission structure. If you bought a business pack, you would be at a 20% commission structure. If you're at the elite, you would be at 25, but the top pay is ultimate, which is 30%. So you would make $300 on Mary's 1,000 points versus $150 if you only had a 4-pack. You have 4 weeks to climb up the ladder to achieve ultimate. A lot of people say, you know what, just give me the pack. I want to get the monkey off my back. Let's get her done so I can focus on talking to my friends like Mary. So let's imagine that Mary goes out and she talks to a whole bunch of people in Chicago. At the same time, your cousin Henry in Toronto is out there doing the same thing. Once you achieve ultimate, you keep top pay status for a lifetime, right? Let's go back here and remind you, this is an ultimate pack, 3 10-packs in Canada, a 30-pack in the US. And when you end up selling them, it all makes the same kind of profit. So again, there's your best option. We have different prices in Mexico, of course. But as I mentioned, you've got Mary and what did I call your cousin in Toronto? Henry or Howard or Harry?
Something like that.
So let's call him Harry. What the heck, right? So Mary goes out and builds, right? And she shares it with her people at church and shares it with their neighbors and the ladies in her Red Hat Society and all that. And Harry goes out and does the same thing in Toronto. Well, Mary ends up with all kinds of action in her team, and Harry ends up with less. So you're going to be paid 15% commission on all your lines, except the largest one. In this example, it would be Mary. So all of the activity that happens with Harry in any given week pays you 15%, and that is called base commissions. If you had a third line and you opened up in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and you've got your sister Lori there, and she starts building, you would also earn 15% from Lori as she's building up as well. So these base commission checks can add up, I'm telling you, but when you have $250 or more in a given week, and that's US dollars, so equivalent to about $345 Canadian, you get an extra 15% put in what we call a savings bonus. And that savings bonus shows you in your back office, the little wheel starts going around. You might start off with your first $40 and then the next $30. And before you know it, you're at $9,800. And you're going, oh my God, $200 to go to trigger my bonus. Well, once that happens, guess what? You are going to be recognized like the Dickens. So many people have enjoyed their savings bonus. And once you get recognized, well, first you're going to get your check deposited to my Canadian friends. It is American dollars that goes into your Canadian bank account. And then, like today, the entire corporate staff, as well as the owners of the company, called me to celebrate my success. And that's what happens. This company just loves you to bits. We've got our Canadians, Chris and Joni, that triggered only in 8 months. Their father, Bob, triggered in 10. My co-sister in Alberta triggered in 14. And I recently triggered in 14 as well, too. So what are you going to do with 10,000? Put it in the chat quickly. For me, I'm going on an African safari. What would you do if 10,000 US dollars landed in your bank today? What would you do? What's your goal? Put it in the chat. Let's have some fun. Now, getting back to, we talked about Mary and Harry and your sister Lori. You personally introduced to each and every one of them to this company. They are all what we call your first generation. When they make $100 or $1,000 in base commissions, you are going to get a matching bonus. It's another part of our pay plan. It's 15%. Mary introduced Helen. She's on your generation 2. You would get 10% of Helen's matching bonus. And then remember, we get paid so many different ways every Friday, but these matching bonus checks add up so fast, it starts looking like a mortgage payment. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Another way we get paid is the lifestyle credits. Again, for doing your business, purchasing your product monthly, introducing to new customers, introducing to new brand partners, and you cash in these trips, these credits for great trips like Tahiti last year, Bahamas last July. There's a whole bunch of us that went to Punta Cana, and then a whole bunch more went to Bali. It's just fabulous to be wined and dined like this. It's absolutely amazing. So now we have a beautiful lady. She's a senior officer. She's from Southern Alberta. And look at the difference in Billie. She's been in the industry for a long, long time. She's mom of 2. And to get private time with her husband, she took up hunting. So she learned how to shoot. And now she has freezers full of beautiful elk meat. So when I come to Southern Alberta, I hope you can make me some elk sausage or something, Billie. I'm so excited. She is now number 5 power ranker in all of Canada. And also, too, she has just been recognized on tonight's recognition call that she has qualified for the gala beautiful dinner and dance event in Dallas. Billie.
Hey, Ricia.
I'm
Hi.
sorry.
Thanks,
Look at how
everybody, for
pretty
hanging
you
in
are.
here with
Look at
us.
you. You're beautiful.
You
Wow.
know, I don't even know. It's so funny. I went to find out about that gala like last week or something, and there was a call and they announced it. I was like, oh my gosh, I earned it already. Okay, sweet. I'm like, it's so fun. So yeah.
Congratulations. I'm so excited. Billie, what is your story? You've been in the industry for a long, long time. What attracted you specifically to PartnerCo, and how did you learn about PartnerCo?
So it's kind of a funny story. I was actually sharing this with someone just earlier tonight on a Zoom, how I actually I've been in the industry since 2020 or no, so 2005. 2005. I actually,
Congratulations.
yeah, so it's been 20 years this year. And when I first found out about the industry, I was actually working full-time as an insurance agent and part-time at a local bar serving. And I was constantly living with more month at the end of my money than I had money at the end of the month, right? And my sister had started a business, and I was it's just like what you said before about talking to your cousin Henry and this person in Winnipeg. And I was sending people my sister's way. And so, it's kind of like whenever I have somebody that's using the drops and they start telling their friends and they start sending their friends to me, I'm like, wait a second, don't you want to stop and learn about this for yourself? So maybe some of you are on this call tonight and that's the position that you're in. And so that's kind of where I was at. And I learned about all the material things. I was 23. I was like, oh, I want to earn a car. I want to earn great money and all those things. Anyways, long story short, the thing about network marketing and this industry itself, and we like to call it partnership marketing, is that once you learn what it can do for you, you can't unlearn it.
Yeah.
And so after all that time, I've only ever been in, that was 18 and a half years in one company. And after all that time, really though, a lot of things shifted there, and I was no longer no longer in love with where I was at, on top of a bunch of other things. But what attracted me to PartnerCo? So I left that company and didn't find out about PartnerCo until over a year later, or about a year later, I guess, just about one full year. And um, what struck me about this was actually I wanted nothing to do with the industry. I didn't want to build a team. I didn't want to have I I wanted just to be a product user. And so I found out about the drops from my friend Anne, who found out about them from Barb, the lady that you showed a picture of on the call. And Barb was having great results. Anne tried them. She was having great results. And honestly, life was such a blur at the time. All I heard when I heard about what the drops could do was thyroid health. I heard the word thyroid health, help your thyroid. I'd recently had a biopsy on my thyroid. It's still giving me trouble, to be honest. I have to go for another test on it tomorrow, but that was for me what it was. I was like, if I can help support my thyroid in any kind of natural way, that's what I'll do. So I of course, though, I know about getting discounts and how that works. So I said, what's the cheapest way for me to get them? She said, get a brand partner membership. I'm like, all right. I'm like, I'm buying one box. That's it. And so I would only buy, I was like, and don't tell me anything about the business. I don't want to know. Like, I was like, I don't want to know. I don't want anything to do with it. Anyway, joke's on me because I started using the drops. It was a very busy time of life. It was towards the late, like middle to end of June. We're very kids are off school. I was planning this lobster fundraising event, lobster surf and turf event. We are very involved in the planning at our local stampede and all those things. So life was very busy. So I was just putting the drops in my body, not paying any attention. I think it was Shelly that said, she's like, I wasn't following the food plan. I was just putting them in my body for my thyroid. And I was like, holy cow, I am like, I don't want to like people would ask, around that time of year too, you're getting lots of messages about like all the things. And I was like, I don't actually want to bite people's head off. Like I'm way nicer and I'm not a mean person, but you get a little you get a little more irritable those times when you're full on planning big events and stuff. And I just noticed from, aside from the scale, like in that first couple weeks, I was down 6 pounds. But for me, it was the non-scale things. It was the energy. It was the sleep that I was getting that it was the the mood. And I didn't really pick up on any of that until after that for the July 1st weekend. I said to Anne, I said, I don't know like what's in these things, but I feel amazing. Like and so she said, okay, well, you have 12 days left to go ultimate, so let's chat. And she filled me in on, long story short, she filled me in on the nutshell version of what you just shared and how, I could earn really great money even just sharing them here and there on my social media. So that's what I did. I again was like, I wanted nothing to do with anything posting regular on Facebook. I didn't even know what the system of growth was right away, but I just I didn't want anything to do with it. I just wanted to make some money. My kids, we have horses. They cost a lot of money. My son plays hockey. That costs a lot of money. Just life. Like you mentioned, Risha, keeping up your home, dealing with repairs and things like that, it all costs money. And money's not everything, but it's right up there with oxygen, right?
Yeah.
And and I don't know anybody who's going to argue with having more than enough. And the other thing about having more than enough money is that the world needs our extra. So it's not just also for me, it's not also about like what can it do, at the time I was like, I just want my bills to be paid and be okay with that. But it's really reignited for me in building my business now, you know, all of those reasons why I fell in love with doing this in the first place. So I could, help more people, give back more. And, when you're just getting by to pay your own bills, you don't have enough to give to other people. So I just want more than enough that everything we need is taken care of, that I can pay that forward to other people as well. So that's kind of what, a, you know, nutshell, but not nutshell version of, me and what I'm passionate about now. But I didn't start building this as a business until January, February-ish of this year, when I kind of started doing the math on what I'd earned last year, just dabbling. And I was like, wow, I did that just dabbling. Imagine if I actually did it for real, like for real, for real. And got to the point where I was like, I'm an idiot if I don't. And
And you
so here we are.
number 5 in Canada.
Yeah.
Wow.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thunk it, right? Wow.
I'm
And
chasing you.
yeah, you're so right about that, because I thought I was done from the industry, because we all remember the pain of building the teams from 20 years ago, right? Because we've been in it as well for a long time. But the social media aspect of this is the easiest thing I ever saw, that customers coming out of the woodwork. Dale, my co-host, she sent me a text and said, tell me why these drops should be for me. And here I've got a new superstar in Midway, British Columbia. So that's what happens in this business, is people come out of the woodwork and say, I need some help. Tell me about the drops. And I think Dale said, I don't want to do the business. I think a whole bunch of my people on this call said, I don't want to do the business, but we wear our heart on our sleeves and we want to share it with others so others can feel well too, don't we?
Yeah. I think the thing too that I love about this, from not only like the number one, the products make a difference for people. I'm not selling anything people don't need. And I don't need to chase people for a sale, because so many people want what I like. And I know that this sounds, but I'm just being honest. I've never once messaged someone and said, hey girl, you want to try my drops? Right? I don't need to do that, because the system of growth is laid out for us, that when we follow that, people will come to us when we're consistent, when we're a product of the product, and when we, do the do. And eventually, like, there's people that will see your post and maybe they've been watching for 6 months, and then there's that one post that they're like, all right, I've had enough. Or that one morning they put on that pair of jeans that won't do up, or whatever the case might be, or they're tired of going one more sleepless night, or whatever the case might be, or they're tired of, ripping their husband's head off when he really didn't do anything to, whatever the case might be. And so, or they're tired of being
They have a call from their doctor that says, guess
yes,
what? You're in a
yes,
critical mess here. Get it together.
yes. And so I love that, even if the business side of this is not for somebody, the products are enough.
Yeah.
The products are enough. And it's very organic when everybody that's on my team has been a product user first.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And noticed as well is the average product consumption in my business is about 8 products per person per month.
yeah. So
People
they use
love
one
all of
product,
our
they
products.
love it. Yeah, and people love it, and it opens up doors to other products they realize, oh, there's other gaps that are missing, and these are products from Partner Co. I've got this membership now. I can, get them on my order, and it just it happens very organically. And I love that I know what I need to do for my customers every day when I wake up, and I know what I need to do in my business every day when I wake up. There's no questions. And I don't also feel like because the products are enough and the system is in place, I don't feel like I have to be a mental health counselor when people are wondering why their business isn't growing, because I can always narrow it down to them, just little pieces of the system that they might not be plugged into. And when they get themselves plugged back into that, their business grows. And so it's like I said, I've been around now 20 years. In that time, I've of course looked into and just researched, read up on other brands, other compensation plans, and seen how other people are growing businesses, and I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah. We have the unicorn. Billie,
Yeah.
thank you so very much for the
Thanks for
beautiful.
having me, Ricia.
So great to getting to know you a little bit better, and we'll definitely be looking for you at PXP to collect that hug.
Sounds good. It's a deal.
Thank you, Billie, so much. And here you hear from one of the industry's finest, veteran in the industry, and she knows that Partner Co. is the best home to hang her hat. So as you heard from Leanne, you heard it from Shelly, you heard it from Billie, and you've heard it from me. How will you know if the products are working? It's simple. You'll feel it. bottom line, you will feel more energy. You'll feel like you've slept better, even if you have to get up, go to the bathroom, and come back and you fall asleep right away. You improve mood. So when you're organizing big events and dealing with your cranky husband, whatever it is, or your kids, and increase in libido, reduction in inflammation. And it's not only about the weight, but you feel that inflammation go down and your clothes and pants are starting to feel better. So it's all about overall wellness. When you go to work tomorrow, when you go to that family barbecue on Sunday, when you go to church, look around you. Every single person within 6 inches of you is enjoying all of these same miserable things inside their body. We need to reach out and help them. We need to mention to them about the drops, because a lot of people don't know. Not everybody's on Facebook. A lot of them don't know this, and we need to reach out to them and get them some information. When you look at who you're marrying up with, well, Partner Co, by the numbers, we've sold over 1 million bottles. We're in 50 plus countries with all solid infrastructure already in set for you. $172 million of Noni sold. You think we don't know what we're doing? I think so. We're #1 compensation plan winner. And we've also won so many awards in our 2.5 years. They just keep coming. In fact, Katie Holt Larson, our director of all of North America, just won the Businesswoman of the Year award in one of the categories. I mean, we're winning the big awards, guys. So closing up here, are you a 1? It's time to make a decision, because being indecision is a decision, but we want to get everybody to move towards victory. Are you a 2? Are you a 3? Or perhaps a 4? A 1 is that person that wants the drops and prepared to buy retail. No, I don't want you to do that. I want you to at least become a brand partner so you can enjoy the wholesale savings, right? And you know what's going to happen, though? Someone's going to say, gosh, Henry, you're looking good. What are you doing? Well, you know what? I've got these drops and you got to know about them. So you are now getting on this health and wellness train to ride. What about the number 4? Do you want to ride this health and wealth train and ride it big all the way to destination prosperity? Put your 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the chat. It's easy. We accept and love all decisions. And 1 year from now, when I interview you, what will be your story? You've heard Billie's story. You've heard my story. What will be your story 1 year from now when we have that discussion? I'd love for you to tell me that your goals are all being accomplished. Living the dream, time to enjoy all those things, the grandchildren, the children, enjoy that body you love and get that polka dot bikini once and for all, the financial stability. It's a hug fest at Dallas. I encourage you all, if you want to know who this company is, get the person who invited you to this call to go to our PXP convention in Dallas in September. And I'll tell you, you'll find out that we've got some great science and great people at the helm of this ship. Enrolling is easy. The person that invited you can help you choose a plan. It's very, very simple, super, super quick. Our next call is actually tomorrow. I am doing a series on how to sell drops from a retail outlet. My guest is Brenda Carlton, and she actually signed up an entire medical clinic with a health product. So tomorrow she's going to be talking to us about that, how to actually get inside these clinics and how to be able to transform the patients from the clinics into drop users. The next opportunity product call for the US and Canada will be Thursday, August 14th, 5 p.m. It's always the same link. Everybody is invited. I want to say thank you very much to Billie Heggie, my special guest star. Thank you so very much. To Leanne Boyd, thank you for your story. And to Shelly Dechant, thank you for sharing your testimonial with us as well. Thank you to all the brand partners that are here to support the call, and especially to you guests. Our job here tonight was to help you get the information you need to make a great decision. So thank you to the guests for coming, and thank you, Dale Rumming, my beautiful co-host, for doing a great job of keeping this party crowd under wraps. I'm going to shut up the record, and if anybody has any questions, maybe some people want to hang around and answer some questions.